Hey, it's Caesar.
I'm Carla.
I'm Rocky.
Hey, we have a very special guest. You already heard, you're seeing her right now. She is our second guest on the show. She's been on the Rodriguez show. She's a singer-songwriter, and she has so many other talents. Give it up for Rock Kuner. Hey. You can follow her on Instagram at rock_lobster97. We'll show it on the screen. How you been?
Been pretty well, actually. Yeah. Thank you for asking.
Yeah, thank you for being our second guest here on this Carla and Caesar's Modern Life. How does it feel to be here?
I'm honestly so honored to be here right now, and I'm so happy to see you again. And just good day. You know?
Yeah. We recorded this at home, so thank you for driving out to our home studio here. It's our new setup that we have.
Anytime, honestly, this is
we
great.
Appreciate you.
Yeah.
I appreciate you guys.
So things have been. You've done a few things since we talked on the Rodriguez show last year. How have you been? How's going solo?
It's been great.
Yeah.
I've been working on my EP a lot. It is nearly done. We have only one more song to really start, from scratch recording again.
Yeah.
But we're pretty much almost done with every single song. So
oh wow! So when are you aiming to release that? Summer?
I'm thinking like late summer, maybe fall. Yeah. Actually, just because things have been, not lagging, but just things take time.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's when it comes out, it'll be out, but I'm thinking probably fall, just to be safe and just to have everything, all my ducks in a row and stuff. But it's been good though. It's been really good. It's been just really fulfilling, and I don't know how to describe it other than just like immense gratitude that I have for working with the producer I'm working with right now, and I'm just really happy because everything's going exactly the way I would have imagined it to, and honestly better probably than I would have ever thought. So I'm really excited.
And you have such a great following of people. They'll follow you to whatever you'll do next. They still comment on the first interview we did on the Rodriguez show years ago.
That was so long ago. I'm so grateful though.
Shout out to those people that always comment.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been an honor, and I'm it's not the end, obviously. This is just the beginning of things.
yeah. And that was something that was clear even before, before you left the group that you were in. It was you would have been working on your own stuff for so long.
I have. Yeah, honestly, I think that's something that people don't realize is that Why Not wasn't the only thing I was ever doing. I've been performing and working on music writing since I was like 9. So this is not something that's new to me. And this is something that I've been working on since probably out of high school, actually. So an EP, an album, whatever I was doing, like these songs are old. Like not all of them are old, but just they're from a while ago, and some are new. And I just wanted to release something that kind of encapsulates like everything that I am as an artist, so that it can kind of, I guess, outlive me if I ever were to, or actually, one day we all will die, so that's fine. Mm-hmm. But just, something that explains kind of who I am as a person and an artist, in one little 5-song thing,
That's awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah, we can't wait to hear that. I'm sure you said this year it's coming, so
I'm so excited.
Have you been pursuing any other creative ventures that you want to talk about? I know that you started doing acting classes, right?
Yeah, I actually
oh my God,
have
how exciting.
I love that you brought that up because I wasn't sure if you knew that, but yes, I have started an acting class in LA on Tuesdays, and it's fucking amazing, you guys. Honestly, I'm growing so much as a person, and even as an artist, honestly, because this shit is hard, okay? I have not done acting in such a long time. And so I'm kind of insecure, I'm a little insecure because I really don't feel like comfortable in it like I do with music, Mm-hmm. And so I'm really I'm learning a lot, and a big thing that I'm trying to do is get out of my mind and get into my heart, my feelings, because I kind of realize that I don't really allow myself to feel that much as much as I used to, maybe when I was a child, or even a few years ago, maybe, I kind of have to tap into my toxic self almost, go what's the most exaggerated emotion I could feel right now. And it's still an emotion, it's still valid, but it's just like, to me, it's like exaggerated because I never react like that. You know, I never like blow up on people.
So
you know,
like wherever you can pull it from.
Right. So I have to be like, oh my God, if when you're angry, like you gotta go fucking off on people. And I'm like, you know, but it's actually helping me grow some balls, honestly.
I love that.
Yeah. So I'm
That's
actually
really cool.
like pretty down, and it's almost like therapy, and the group is so nice. Everybody in it is so fucking sweet. And I'm just really lucky that I'm working with such amazing, talented people. And the coach is amazing too. So I'm really grateful that I reconnected with the coach, and I'm just learning a lot, you know.
That's
so
awesome. Carla's been thinking about
really
doing
cool.
that. Right?
Yeah,
really fun.
I'll
You
have to talk
should.
to you about it some more after.
You should join me, because then
I want to.
Yeah, it's a really fun
You make
class.
it sound really cool too. Like that's not what I pictured at all. So
It's a lot of work, but we could totally carpool. We could do it.
Yes.
Like it would be really fun, honestly.
I like that.
And it's honestly really affordable compared to other acting classes. Like it's usually acting classes are like up the ass, like expensive, and this one is just perfectly affordable. It's still a lot, but it's like it's doable, you know.
Yeah.
And I really love the coach. He's amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so it's a good group of people, honestly.
It's awesome.
Really cool.
Yeah.
I feel the same, where I'm kind of just like I'm aware I'm like super monotone. Like it's hard for me to like express a lot of emotion too. But that sounds amazing how you kind of just like have to channel it from somewhere and just let it out.
Yeah.
I can see how that would be super therapeutic.
It is. And it's almost cathartic sometimes too, to like have an experience that you feel like you didn't say what you wanted to say in that moment or something, and you get to just go off or whatever.
Yeah.
But you do, like, it does push you, you know, like he definitely pushes you to a point where you're like, you have to like do, you know, and you feel like kind of under pressure, but like you have to just go for it, you know. It's like, it's almost like you got to take the risk, you got to just, who cares, you know what I mean, like just do it, and just for you, you know. And it's really fun. It's nice to just do something different, you know, honestly.
Yeah, it's good to like challenge yourself.
It's refreshing, honestly. Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. Well, we can't wait to see you in whatever creative acting projects you pursue in the future.
Hopefully
100%.
Broadway, one day Broadway, hopefully.
yeah.
That's what I'm preparing for.
Yes.
This is my manifesting.
All right. Well, one of the things we wanted to talk to you about, and that's one of the various reasons why you're here with us today as our guest, is tarot. How did you get into this? This is that how you say it? Tarot.
Yeah, tarot. Yeah.
How did you get into that? How did you start learning about it?
Oh my gosh. I don't even know if I really remember exactly how I got into it. I think that my aunt gave me my first tarot deck, and she used to be a Wiccan. Now she's not, but she was at some point when I first met her, and she gave me this tarot deck. And so I think, man, I don't even remember how I really got into it, but I think that I picked it up and I was like interested in learning about it. And then I just started researching like, what is this? And then I got into like spiritual things. And I think honestly, it was probably coming from just like a lot of other like spiritual books and stuff. Like I just started getting on that, like, I wouldn't say it's a train, but it's kind of, you know, like the witch talk train, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like it's not like it's like TikTok's fault, you know, but it was just like kind of a hot topic on Instagram back then too. Like I was following a lot of people that were like talking about tarot and would do like a daily reading or a daily like poll, and I was just like interested, and so I just was like, I can do that, because that's always how I am. Like I'll see something and I'll be like, I can do that, and then I'll learn how to do it.
That's a good attitude to have.
Because it calls your attention for a reason. So
Totally. Yeah. So I was like, oh my gosh, if this is like helpful for people, and even just for me in general, like I would love to like be able to have more of a reason to talk, I guess, because I already talk a lot. So I was like, someone's gonna pay me to talk to them.
Yes, perfect.
Perfect. But yeah, it's been fun though. I really like it.
That's really cool.
That's awesome.
I love witchy things too.
Yeah, no, me too. Yeah, I got into like crystals and all kinds of
you
shit.
have a whole shop. Are you still doing that too?
Oh yeah, the jewelry.
awesome.
Yeah, I've kind of taken, I guess, like a hiatus. Nobody really buys anything that much, so I don't really wrap that often. And honestly, I think if I, applied myself more and was like, oh, I need to post and do the, make new things, I would do it. But I do so many things that I just can't like prioritize it that much. I almost kind of just did it for fun and for shits. And now I'm like, I'm kind of bored with it. Not that I'm bored with it, but just I don't really do it like first thing. I mean, I got into crocheting like recently.
That's cool.
So like
nice.
I just do a lot of different shit. I don't know.
there's
I
so
think
many
it's
things
ADD.
happening.
Like I think that's what it is. Honestly.
Do you know about human design?
I don't.
Oh, okay.
God, are
'Cause
you
you
gonna get
sound-
me into something else?
Maybe. You
Okay.
sound like a manifesting generator because you have a lot of different interests, and that's what you're supposed to do. Like, as a manifesting generator, you're supposed to do the things that light you up and like energize you, give you joy. And it sounds like you're doing just that, which is really
Oh
cool.
my God, thank you. Yeah, I guess I am. Honestly, I just if anything,
I'll send you a
sparks joy.
link so you can take it.
Please do.
Yeah.
I'm so interested in reading about that.
Yeah.
And,
All right, so Rocky's, we're excited because she's here because she's going to do a reading for us right now, a tarot reading. So we're going to get that started right now. We have a camera
right.
on the cards as well, so
Shuffling.
we're shuffling right now.
And I'm just gonna pick, 3 out of the deck. And yes, they're all messed up. Some of them we can see. Whatever. Just ignore that. But yeah, if you guys, like I said earlier, but if you have any questions, maybe think them, maybe ask for what you need to know right now, or what you, if you have questions, think them, and just call in whatever guides can help you, and I will do the same. And we'll just go from there. We'll just start pulling some cards. Actually, you know what? Maybe let's make this interactive. Let's do let's see. Let's kind of separate these into 3 little parts. And you guys pick whatever deck is calling to you. Which one do you feel like picking from?
The middle one.
Yeah?
I thought that too. Yeah.
Nice.
Perfect. Oh, they're so in sync. Love it. Okay, so let's just go from here. Boop, boop, boop. Okay, ooh, the tower. Jesus. But the tower is actually coming up a lot recently just because of life in general. I'm also going to pull an oracle, 2 oracles right now by Marcella Kroll. She's great. She is one of my favorites. I'm actually just going to pick a random one today because sometimes it just takes too long. Oh, cute. Friendship. Oh my goodness. That's pretty cute too. Okay. So since this is for both of you guys, I'm going to keep that in mind while I'm doing this. Okay, so I go out of the book, you guys, because I can't memorize this shit. This is so much, But for now, I'm going to just do my own little interpretation of these. So this is reversed. Let me see this. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 of Swords. And we have the 9 of Wands, 9 of Swords, and then the Tower. So 9s here. Okay, that's meaningful. We don't know what that means, but we'll figure it out. I'm assuming that this is this is my own interpretation. I'm going to read the actual thing soon, but this to me feels like building something and kind of looking for more, or looking for, or maybe just looking at what you've done already, you guys have come so far, but this is also reversed. So sometimes it can feel did I do enough, or am I doing enough, or whatever. I think that's just what I'm getting from the card. 9 of Swords is always anxiety, you guys. This is just the anxiety card. I mean, it looks like shit. I mean, honestly, he does not look happy.
No.
He's crying. This is the up at 3 a.m. card, you're freaking out. And you did mention that you quit your job recently, so that could be also part of the anxiety thing, how are we going to make it, whatever, that financial stress is a really big stressor, and that definitely affects people's health and happiness and all that stuff. So that makes sense. The Tower card is an inevitable change, you can't really control it. This is something that's out of your hands, but out of destruction comes creation, so every time something falls apart, things have to be rebuilt and have a better foundation. And so it's usually, to me, I always look at the Tower as a positive thing, because sometimes endings are a good thing, and that is something that can go for literally anything. It could be financial, because I'm assuming Wands, well, not even assuming, Wands have a lot to do with career and like you were explaining this earlier, something that lights you up, right? Like it's passions, you know, like wands, think of like fire, think of like a magic wand, like you're creating something, it's creation. So what you've created or what you want to create or whatever, like that could be career, you know? So that's something that maybe you're questioning, and you guys are both involved obviously because you're married and stuff, so your decisions kind of affect his decisions and your decisions vice versa, you know. So you know, all of that ties in. But yeah, like the end all, and honestly, again, like I don't really do this like linearly, like, oh, this is past and future and whatever. This is all kind of like just this moment, you know, and things can lead to that, but at the same time, like this is all just kind of like right now, this is the energy. And that's okay, you know, like stress is like pretty normal. I mean, you guys were in March. Wait, are we in March?
Yes, of 2019.
Okay, thank God. I was like, are we in April? Because I was like, fuck, like this year is already like, we're already in March. Like this is already fucked. Yeah. Like what the fuck, you know, like it's crazy. So you guys like this, you guys aren't alone in the stress. I feel like a lot of people are kind of going through the same like change and weird like, you know, igniting something that they have been ignoring maybe, you know?
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So, and then transition, you know, rainbows, in this case, in her cards, they represent transition. And transition is totally going with this. I mean, it's really funny because when this came out, I was like, holy shit, that makes sense because, you know, your things are changing like out of your hands, you know, like there's things that you can't control. And these are hard moments. Like these are like transition periods are always like the hardest moments in life, I feel like. And so especially with this card, this Nine of Swords, like, you know, it's so stressful and painful sometimes to go through changes. And like, it's such a universal thing that we all kind of go through. And so this is kind of what I write a lot of songs about too, is just like transition. Like you're going through it right now. This is like one of those moments. But it's normal and it's necessary and it's part of growth and it's part of life. And so, you know, it's something that you can't ignore because obviously you can't ignore it. Like it's in your face, it's happening to you. For sure. But you have to just kind of roll with it. And I feel like this one, I mean, I'm going to get into the actual, you know, what she explains them as, but I feel like friendship is really the foundation here, you guys. Like you guys are married, you have been in love for so long, like you guys love each other, and friendship like comes first in that, you know, like that love is like genuine friendship. And so like you guys are probably really your friendship is going to be really important in this time because you guys need to support each other through this really rough change, you know, whatever this is. Definitely. Yeah, your friendship is going to come first always. And so, yeah, like through transitions, you need this basis of friendship. And like through anxiety, you need your friendship. You need your support. You need your pals. And it could be even other friends, like your own friends. Like you need to be around maybe like other people that are your friends and just like remember and remind yourself like how much they mean to you too and how much they help you through this stuff, you know?
Yeah, sorry about that.
Oh no, you're good. But yeah, so let me get
tripping
into
out because all of this is so spot on.
I'm so glad.
From just your interpretation. Like I feel like I've had this conversation like the friendship one, like
earlier this week.
Yeah.
That's what they do, you guys. It's crazy.
It's wild. And it makes a lot of sense because for multiple reasons that we don't have to get into right now. But yeah, it all sounds so accurate.
No, yeah, and you guys don't even have to explain it, you know, but as long as you guys feel like it's resonating, like that's really validating enough for me. Like I'm just happy to be, you know, giving the message out. Because I mean, you saw me, I picked them randomly. I don't fucking, you know, like, I'm not like, I know exactly which one I'm picking. Like, I don't even know. Because
we've talked about it on the show, like the fact that we're like transitioning and like how we're doing a lot of like work like on ourselves. Because it has been anxiety inducing. Like a lot of shit has come up for me that I thought I had already figured out. And I'm like, what? Like I have to like do this again. Like, I know like I'm going to come out of it and it's going to be like for my own good and like I'm going to learn from it. But I'm like, I wasn't ready. But I'm ready.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so this is the actual, like, this is from the book. Okay, this is the reverse meaning. I'm not going to get into the upright because you know,
It's the opposite.
who cares? It's reversed, guys. Okay, so it says when the Nine of Wands is reversed, you endure strong opposition, which seems unfair. You put in hard work, but receive little thanks in return. You give your all, but it still doesn't seem to be enough. So, like I literally said that because I wasn't sure. Sometimes I'm not sure, but it's like, was I doing enough, or like, did I build enough, right? So you may be at the mercy of an unreasonable boss or demanding children, friends, or clients.
Wow.
This situation is demotivating. So you become fixed on getting through tasks without enjoying the aspects of your work that used to be satisfying, right? What sparks your joy, right? Like what is like igniting that feeling of like happiness for you? Like, are you actually doing what you like to do, you know? Which is, I don't even know, you guys. I don't even know what I'm reading. Like sometimes I'm like, am I doing this right? And same, you know?
No, totally.
Let's see. So where the fuck was I? Oh yeah. Equally, you could be the one who is obstinate and inflexible in your attitude. The reverse card can also show issues with boundaries. Someone may be invading your territory. In relationships, you may be dealing with an individual who's acting defensively because you are veering into uncomfortable territory for them. So, like I said, you know, transitions are uncomfortable. Like, honestly, and change is uncomfortable. And that, like I was saying earlier, you can't ignore it sometimes. It's something that's so big for you that's like, you know, you can't just be like, oh, it's fine, I'll just be unhappy for the rest of my life. Like, you can't just like do that, you know?
No.
It's too big for that. So I love that you guys are going through this change, whatever it is, because everybody needs to be happy. You need to be happy, whatever it is you're doing. And the reverse meaning of the Nine of Swords is probably just gnarlier than the normal one. But it says, unfortunately, as you might expect, the reverse nines meaning is more extreme than of its outright counterpart, which and traditionally means despair, guilt, or feeling trapped. However, this is the lowest point of the cycle, and these feelings will begin to shift. As you gradually move out of this difficult phase, you will feel more able to turn these feelings of powerlessness around. Be patient and compassionate with yourself, and turn to others for support rather than suffering alone. So
that's wild.
It's coming back to friendship, guys. Like that's why I love this book, because it just validates like my own reading of it. Like because I'm just like, I was right, fucking right. But it all ties in. It really does. Like you have to turn to people that support you and care about you so that you can get through this shit. Because it's like not an easy time. You know?
Something that stood out to me was the word powerless. Yeah. Because I earlier was reading a book about presence and being present. And it talked about powerlessness, and I could so relate to what she was talking about. And so just, I hadn't like heard that word other than from reading earlier today. So the fact that it's there, it just stands out.
That's, dude. No, that's the
like
shit
one of
that
those
gets
synchronicities.
me. Right. No, that's the shit that gets me sometimes. I'll do my own reading sometimes, and I'll be like, holy shit. Yeah. That's weird, because it's like, it's just, I feel like it's the universe just like reminding you or validating like, hey, like this is a sign that like, this is what you need to hear. Like you need to hear this thing or whatever. And some people don't like to hear it, you know, but most of the time it's like, this is pretty necessary. Yeah. And again, you know, all of these cards are reversed, and usually people are like, oh my God, reverse is like so bad. But actually I feel like sometimes reverse meanings are more temporary than the upright sometimes. I feel like it's very temporary when it's reversed, because it might be a little bit more of a negative interpretation, but it's way, I feel like it goes by way quicker than an upright like card would imply, I guess, you know. So the reverse, and it's shorter to explain, which is, it's great. Because I'm like, you don't have to take that long. So when the Tower is reversed, it says you may find yourself taking responsibility even when you're blameless. It can also show you have held onto a career, project, or relationship that is not strong enough to stand the test of time. If you have clung to the past to protect yourself from reality, your fears may materialize. Damn. The Towers, I know, right? I'm like, the Tower's collapse is inevitable. Like I was saying, it's out of your control. It's something that is going to happen no matter what you do. So you have to just go with it. So don't feel responsible for forces outside your control. Its impact is sudden and dramatic, and you will soon know exactly where you stand. And it's funny, the wisdom message says surrender. Like, and that's really what it is, you guys. Damn. Because when you guys go through a change, you have to just fucking go with it. You can't fight it. It'll take longer. It's more painful. You have to just go with it. The rainbow transition means change, passage, transformation, or move. The rainbow represents the state of in-between, leaving one way, place, or state of mind into another. Drawing this card can indicate that there is significant change or move on the horizon. You have pulled this card as a marking of time to note that you are in the process of great transformation, obviously. Okay, be kind and gentle with yourself as you move forward. If you are inquiring about a relationship or situation, this card indicates a change in the nature of it. If you are curious how this transition will affect you going forward, select another card to see where the bridge will be leading you. So, whatever. We have friendship next. So that's pretty cool, though, actually. I feel like
it makes sense.
Yeah. Let's see this one. So friendship. Oh, and this one's really short too. It says, a new ally, positive support, community, and camaraderie. Meditate when you want more harmony and peace in your community. Also use to draw new alliances and friends. And says Native American symbol of 2 arrows cross signals at the end of war, peace, and friendship. So this is like what that means. Like it's like almost like, all right, we're done. Like it's all good. We have peace now.
No,
so yeah, I think that all of it, tying in, even though as negative as they feel, this is really positive.
Yeah.
Like these oracles really lighten it,
I like that.
Yeah, and so that's why I like to incorporate the oracle cards, because sometimes the tarot just fucking nails you and they're like, bitch, your life sucks. And you're like, what? Yeah, and so
figure it out.
Yeah, you're like, I guess you're on your own now. And so I like to have these to just be like, but it's positive. Everything's gonna work out, because it always does.
At the same time, it's still correlated with those.
Oh, it totally does, right? Yeah. Like the friendship thing in this one, and then the transition with the change, and this is a big change too. These are both really related to each other too, as well as this one. So, I mean, this was a beautiful reading, you guys. I'm so blessed to have done this, because I haven't read anyone in a while.
That's so cool.
This was great.
Thank you for doing it.
Thank you for having me. I'm so happy that it could help and just like at least alleviate some of the stress you might have been experiencing. Like, because I hate to say it, but it's like, it's normal, but it's like, it's stuff that you have to talk to people about it, or like you have to go through it. And it, as much as it sucks, like it's part of life,
Totally.
And I'm happy for you guys, and I'm happy that you're not ignoring that call to change, or that like call to action, I guess, because in every good hero movie, there's always a call to action, or a call to your mission, or your whatever your purpose is. And so sometimes you gotta just go with it, and you can't fight it, So awesome.
I love that.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, it really resonated with us in terms of our careers and the whole working in a situation that you want to change and stuff like that. So all that stuff is spot on.
Everything. Yeah, and then for me, it just reaffirmed so much. Like basically, like I'm on the right track, and like just keep going.
Fuck yeah, always. I mean, you can't really make a wrong decision, you guys. Like no matter what you do, like you're always gonna end up being directed to where you need to go.
It's true.
And so as long as you have like internal faith in yourself, and just in like whatever source you believe in. I'm not like religious or anything. I'm not like, oh my god, believe in whatever. Like believe in whatever you want. Whatever makes you like, whatever literally floats your boat. But this stuff is just so archetypal. It's not religious. It's not anything. Like it's just like symbols and kind of this energy that like you are emitting on your own. And so it just picks up the vibes, honestly. I feel like your vibes just come through. And and I'm just glad that it helped reaffirm that you were doing the right thing. I'm happy. Like that's all I could ask for.
Thank you.
Well, that was it. That was our reading. Thank you so much, Rocky.
Thank you for having me.
And people can hit you up for a reading too on Instagram, right?
Anytime, I'm
So
always available. I'm always doing a billion things, but I will always find time to do this. And I do them on Zoom, FaceTime, whatever. I can even just text you the thing and write it out. Like I'm a good writer, so if you need that.
Awesome. Well, we'll put her Instagram on the screen. It's rock_lobster97. And so before we wrap up, though, we do have a segment we want to do with you. It's called the Who is the Jerk Scenarios Advice column. Are you ready for this?
I'm so ready.
All right. So I'll start here with the first one. This is a 17-year-old male who got kicked out of his parents' house, so he's staying with his sister, who's 6 months pregnant, and her family, which includes her husband and their 2-year-old daughter. He says that his sister does everything around the house and his brother-in-law refuses to help because he's the breadwinner. He says that in his opinion, he takes it too far because he has very specific requests and she's always exhausted and burnt out. They fight a lot because of this.
So the scenario is, he says, I usually put my headphones on and mind my own business, but 2 nights ago there was a lot of commotion once he got home, so I went to see what the issue was. My brother-in-law was complaining about dinner and my sister was too exhausted to get up. I mean, the dinner was already cooked, but he wanted her to put it on the table for him. I told my sister I'd do it, but instead of using their kitchen utensils, I used my niece's toy utensils like toy cup, toy plate, toy fork, and knife, and a tiny napkin. I put the food on the toy plate and the drink in the toy cup while my brother-in-law was in the shower.
He then came into the kitchen and sat down and stared at the plate for a few seconds. He then looked at me and asked what the hell this was and whether I was joking. I told him if he wanted to act like a helpless child, then he might as well get treated like one. He began yelling and my sister came inside. He then threw the napkin and stormed off upon saying I disrespected him and that he'll let my parents know about what I did. My sister saw what I had done and started laughing. I went inside of my room, but the argument didn't stop. Now he's expecting an apology from me for meddling in his marriage and pulling this crappy stunt on him. I could be the asshole, but I was so mad at him for my sister, and I'm sick and tired of him being sick and tired of. I'm sick and tired of the nightly fighting over dinner. Yeah. So, is he the jerk? Is he the jerk in this scenario? What
Someone had to do it.
Yeah.
Hell no.
Yeah.
Hell no.
Oh my god.
I love that. That's some of the best passive aggressive shit I've ever heard of, and I love it.
He's 17 years old. That's so funny. This
That's
guy.
really smart.
I know, and he's been trying to hold back. He's been trying to be respectful, and this is probably like the funniest way to like make a point.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a genius thing to do.
Yeah.
So
oh
yeah,
my God,
I mean, I don't think the 17-year-old's a jerk in any way. It's just,
What's the other thing? It's like, are they the asshole or the what?
Or the other person, or it's whether they're a jerk or not.
Yeah, whether they're a jerk.
Not a jerk, no.
Yeah.
You are a genius.
I like it.
That was awesome.
All right, should we do the next one?
Yeah. Side note for that one on the website, it was everybody sucks.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, because people get to vote on the website where we find these, and they're saying that even the 17-year-old shouldn't have done that. But at the same time, it's like, it's the only way.
What else would you do? Fight him?
Yeah.
Fight an adult? He's like a minor. Like,
Yeah.
the fuck? What else can you do?
Right.
Yeah.
Also, I mean, you're sticking up for your sister.
Exactly.
You know, like, I would be pissed off too. If anything, like, I would be saying something too, because I care. Especially when it's like, look, like, she's basically like a single mom.
Yeah.
Like, pretty much. I
Right.
mean, if you're
'Cause you
really
just wanna show
expecting
up
her to
and-
do everything, like, with 3 kids, right? Or, wait,
one
she's
kid
pregnant.
and one on the way.
Oh, she's pregnant, first of all, which is exhausting in itself.
Exactly.
And then also you have 2 kids. Like, are you kidding me? And then you're like, put my shit on a plate.
Oh
Fuck
my
you.
God.
No, fuck you. Like, that was
Seriously,
genius.
straight up.
But also, what is she doing? She should probably say something too. I would be
true.
pissed off. But if they're fighting, then she probably is.
Probably
So,
does. And
who
she
knows?
laughed at it, so she knows the intention.
She was like, haha, that's what you get. Yeah, that's funny. That was great.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, so this is a 19-year-old male who has a job taking care of 2 kids who have special needs. They also have a dog, and he also does some light housework for the family, and the family is a single mom household. She reached out to him because he'd posted his business card at the clinic where his dad works as a physical therapist.
Since the weather started getting warmer, recently the dog started shedding a lot, so he was having to vacuum every day. His dad's dog had a double coat like their dog, so on one of the days when the kids were sleeping, he took the dog outside to comb his hair. He thought he was doing them a favor, but when he sent the owner a picture of all the hair he combed out, she basically called to fire him on the spot for doing that because she said it was meant to fall off on its own. What?
So now the scenario, he says, looking back, I realized that maybe I should have asked first, but at the time it seemed like something that was within the scope of taking care of the dog. I was extremely upset because I had been with the family for 3 months and she had never yelled at me like that before. I left as soon as she got home because she was still fuming. I immediately lined up a job with another family and I'm supposed to start on Monday.
My former employee employer called them 2 days later saying that she was sorry about the misunderstanding and that firing me was an overreaction. I told her I was no longer available and she started crying about how hard it was to find a new sitter for special needs kids. When I stood firm, she started texting my dad and asking him to do something. My dad is annoyed at being dragged into this, and while he respects my decision, he wishes I would have kept watching the kids for her for a short time to keep the peace. I hate that I put anyone in an awkward situation, but I don't want to work for someone like that. Am I a jerk for that? No.
Yeah.
No.
Because she already shown that she'll turn on him just like that.
That's some crazy people shit. You don't deserve to be treated like that by any kind of employer. Also, special needs is like a whole other... Like, I babysit, but like babysitting like special needs kids is a whole other fucking thing. Like, that's like, you gotta be a fucking saint to be doing that work. And
that's what she should have realized too before she got all upset about the dog like so fast. She's like, hey, this guy does a good job with the kids. Like, maybe he didn't do what I wanted with the dog, but he was trying to help. So it's like...
Yeah, no, that sounds like you were really stressed out that day, and you maybe shouldn't have yelled at the person that's helping you the most. I mean, shit, that's pretty gnarly. Right. And I'm sorry that you went through that. That sucks. Because I've had my fair share of things happen like that where, you know, like I'm hired by a mom, or like I'm a vocal teacher or whatever, and then people like yell at me for some dumb shit. It's like, what? Like, seriously? Yeah. And I mean, you know, sometimes I get it, and other times I'm like, that's a little out of line. But to fire someone on the spot, like, that's a whole other thing. Like, if she just yelled at him like, hey, like, why wouldn't you ask me that first? Like, I would have understood and be like, oh, I'm so sorry, I like didn't even think about it. Like, I thought it would be obvious, like, you don't want hair around your house, around your kids, around whatever. But if that were the case and she didn't fire him, I would have just not done any more housework. Like, I would have just like stopped doing shit like
dog
that.
hair accumulate.
Yeah, I'd be like, let it just build up. It's fine. Whatever. She doesn't want me to vacuum. It's okay.
Yeah, and it sucks to put him on the spot too. Like, oh, now he's a 19-year-old kid who just wanted a job, and now she's like, oh, you're putting a single mother in a bad spot. And
well, it's like you got yourself in that spot.
Yeah, you should treat your employees better.
Yeah, I know, exactly. It's like, I mean, I understand that having that life is very stressful. Like, it is stressful to be a single mom and have two special needs kids. But also, it's like, if you have like someone that's helping you, and then you're gonna get weird about the fucking dog, like, I'm sorry, like,
you gotta appreciate.
You gotta go to therapy or something, like, and learn how to not project on people that are helping you. But you know, I get it though. Like, I can see both sides, but I think that it's totally valid to put up your boundaries, and if you're fired, don't fucking get your job. Like, whatever, go on to the next job. It's fine. Someone's gonna treat you better than that, and you're still gonna do the same type of thing, you know.
You've already seen like the type of treatment you could potentially be putting up with it here, so it's like, okay, like, no thank you.
Right. And then
so
you know how to set your boundaries going into the next job, basically. Yeah, totally.
Good for him.
Good for you. Yeah.
All right, we got one more. Here, I'll start. This is a 31-year-old male. He's been married to his 30-year-old wife for 3 years. They love each other, and he says he wouldn't change anything about her except that she's really insecure about her nose, and she gets aggressive over it when he tries to comfort her.
So the scenario is, for as long as I remember, she has always hated her nose and mentions it every day. When I try to tell her it's beautiful and I try to reassure her that she doesn't have to change anything, she gets aggressive and calls me a liar, to the point where she yells at him.
Yells at me?
At me about it.
Yeah, so the guy that's writing it.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago, she got a raise at her job, and today she suggested the idea of getting a nose job. I said that if she's that insecure about it to the point that it's affecting her mental health, that she should get it done. She got extremely upset over this and said that I shouldn't have supported the idea. She left the house to go to her mother's, and I haven't been able to get in touch with her since. Am I the jerk?
Oh my God. Dang. That sounds like she has a lot of issues.
Yeah.
Like just a lot. Like, that's not your fault. Oh my God.
She trapped him in that scenario.
Yeah, that was damned if you do, damned if you don't type
set
of
up
thing.
A failure, honestly. I understand the nose thing because I also have a big nose, but I don't care what people think of my nose, and even what I think of my nose. Like, when you get a nose job, your whole fucking face changes. So like, it's not just like my nose can be a little bit like small. No, like, your whole face changes. So you have to get also used to like the mental effects of that. Like, looking yourself in the mirror and being like, do I even recognize myself right now? Like, it's like a big deal to get a nose job. People just kind of like put plastic surgery like, oh, it's like whatever, but no, that's like a fucking
it's like
big
a band-aid
deal.
basically. You're not
Yeah.
addressing the real issue of like, why don't I love myself, or whatever it is, like whatever. And if it's like, honestly, like I have nothing against plastic surgery, like if you're that like obsessive about, I'm just like an advocate for like, if you are unhappy with something, change it.
Yeah.
Like don't be complaining about it every single day. So it's like he was encouraging you, like do what makes you happy, and it's like, don't. I just feel like she shouldn't have been upset because he was trying to like come at her from a good place.
Oh, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I
Yeah.
agree with you. I think that, yeah, like if there's something that's affecting you to that point, like you should go ahead and do it.
Yeah, 'cause,
especially
like,
if
there's
it's like that.
nothing wrong with it, especially if you're considering it. Like, how are you going to shut it down immediately after?
Yes.
Like, it's a bad
pretty
thing.
hypocritical, honestly.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy. It's
So it
almost like
sounds
you just,
like you said, like there's
Yeah.
something she needs to figure out.
Yeah.
Like she has some issues to work out.
I feel bad for that guy.
I know, right?
But also, like, I hope that she figures it out too, because that sucks to feel that negatively about yourself. But
It
also,
does,
yeah, like
yeah.
to put your husband like in a trap like that, and just be like, well, why would you say that? It's like, well, because you fucking
You
don't
brought it
like
up.
when I say it's pretty. So what the fuck am I? What else am I gonna say? Like,
Yeah.
okay, fine, it's fucking ugly. Do it. Like shit, you know. I'd be the
I
same
knew
way.
it. I knew it.
It sounds like, oh my god, it's like a disaster.
Yeah.
Well, if we learned anything in this episode, is teamwork and friendship is what makes a successful relationship, and they need to, work as a team and not against each other. Like, don't trap your husband, basically.
Right.
All
Did you
right.
say successful?
Successful? Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was like, what?
Successful. Yes.
Yeah.
Did I say something different?
I thought you said sexual, but it could be my head.
Okay.
She went
Successful.
there.
Successful.
That's what she said.
All right, guys. Well, that's all we had, right?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much,
Cool.
Rocky,
That
for
was
being
so
a guest.
fun. Thank you for being
Thank
here.
you for having
Yeah,
me. I
come
was
back
honored.
anytime.
Oh, yeah. Anytime you guys want me back, I'm down.
Sweet.
All right. Don't
was
forget
so
to follow the channel at carlaandcaesar.com. That's where you can get the direct link to the YouTube channel. Follow our guest, Rocky Kuner, at rock_lobster97. It's on the screen. You can see it. And
Multi-talented. Follow her.
Just like wherever
She's
it is.
got it going on.
Thank you. Love you guys.
all right, guys. Remember to take care of yourself and each other.
Bye.
Bye.